always fresh, every day. You're watching Fastlane Daily.
An unreleased supercar sets a production lap record, only this time it's not at the Nürburgring, but rather at a world-famous circuit in America. Also, an old car brand gets relaunched by the guys in Bavaria, and Spies catch a new Frankfurt concept way ahead of its debut. All that plus our weekly installment of Shakedown with Leo the Suit. This week, Leo compares real racing with simulation racing. It's pretty cool. What's up, everybody? I'm Derek D. You're checking out Fastlane Daily on a Thursday.
Fastlane Daily with Derek D. Always fresh every day.
And now for today's headlines. We've always reported on Nürburgring lap times as a way to benchmark cars. But what happens when you can't get a car there quick enough? Well, for Devon Motorworks, the answer was to just go to another track and set a record there. Oh, let's just say maybe Leguna Seca? The company this past week announced they took their new GTX supercar to the famed Monterey, California track and set a one-lap production car record of 1 minute 35.075 seconds. That's 4 seconds faster than the 1 minute 39.62 lap time posted by the Nissan GTR and 1 minute 39.89 posted by the Porsche 911 Turbo. To put things in comparison, the GTX lap record is only a few seconds slower than Grand Am Rolex prepped Porsche GT3 Cup cars. That's pretty fast. The GTX makes its supercar debut next week at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. And man, oh man, is Steve Urkel psyched today. Look at him. Or is that Jaleel White or Steven Urkel? Anyway, remember that car he drove on the show Family Matters? It was called the Isetta, and now BMW is apparently relaunching their Isetta brand. Of course, this doesn't have much to do with the US, but in Europe, the Isetta was a very popular model, and it's not uncommon to still see some of them putting around narrow city streets. The sort of launch came by way of a new commercial with a bunch of toy Isettas navigating through various terrains. An anonymous source on the BMW blog basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, "It's a reimagining of the original classic using modern and future technology with a lovable design inspired by the original." The new Isetta will be a product of BMW and Fiat, based on the Fiat Topolino, and may roll out as early as 2010. Rumor has it they'll feature small gas and diesel engines, but may move toward an all-electric eventually. The new Urkelmobile is estimated to get 83 miles per gallon. In other news, Laura Winslow was quoted saying, "I don't care if there's a new Isetta coming out. Isetta, I'm not going out with you, Steve." Damn.
That's quite good, actually.
Yeah, that's what she said. Seriously, she was quoted. No. She was. Spies in Germany were busy skulking around yesterday, and someone at BMW probably just got canned. And no, not the kind of canned you're thinking of. Vienna sausages, anyone? Yeah? Good. According to Bimmer Post, Spies caught what looks to be the BMW Sustainable Sports Car Design Study being loaded into a transportation carrier for the Frankfurt Auto Show unveiling next month. Based on what looks to be elongated headlights with a shorter overhang, it may be taking styling cues similar to that of the Z4, 7, and 5 series models. Could this be the possible design direction for the next generation 3 Series? We want to know what you think. Let us know in the comments down there. As always, we'll know more when we get closer to Frankfurt or when another BMW employee risks his job for some extra cash. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Ching. No, it's 3,
2, 1. Cha-ching. That was weak. Anyway. Next up, Leo the Suit Parente talks to us about what's going on in the racing world and the racing simulation world. That's today on Shakedown, right after this. Suck that in for you.
Oh, cigarette shark, please.
See, I don't want to portray to the kids that smoking is good. You can't keep your pearly whites if you smoke, so don't smoke. Plus, you'll die of cancer.
A public service announcement from your friends at Fastlane Daily.
The F1 Concord Agreement is signed, which means all that soap opera breakaway BS was not worth covering. In Australia, the Toll Racing team gets a 3-year extension on its GM Holden deal and promptly wins at Sandown. The Vodafone team gets a Holden contract too, after being dumped by Ford, and promptly accuses Toll of cheating. The Voda boys should know, their springs on their splitter, that was cheating. In DTM, Mercedes was racing for its 150th series win, Audi its 50th. Landmark victory to Audi via Timo Scheider and a podium sweep. Mercedes driver Ralf Schumacher finished 11th, prompting MB VP Norbert Haag to call F1 and suggest this Schumi also be offered a comeback, just to get him out of the bends. At the Finland WRC, Homelander Hervinen wins. Loeb finally finishes, this guy lands his car like a Concorde, and Kimi crashes. Distracted by all the Schumi talk? Speaking of which, here's some Mike in-car video pirated from his first test. He will get a one-day run in the 09 F60, but most of his prep will be on the simulator. Which gets us to iRacing.com, the online racing simulation service. Racing training and actual racing, and not just another video game. You know, when I learned to race back in 1990, I had to get in a real car. There was no other option, and I had to find big bucks fast. Now there is simulation, less money, more seat time, real training, big value. I'm going to spare you the iRacing.com background details because that's why we have their website, Google, and YouTube search. Go check it out. Instead, here are the 2 reasons why iRacing.com is worth a look. First, accuracy. iRacing is all about their physics engine, laser scan racetracks, and real science like kinematics, motion study. All to make the experience, well, here I am describing what I felt. You can feel what the car does. You can feel how you have to react to it. And I gotta tell you, this is where I would be before I went back to a racetrack to get the craft done. Hold on, we gotta set the car up for the lap here. If I was gonna show up, I'd wanna practice my ass off here and be ready to go. It's validating all my rust, but all BS aside, this thing is just like the real race car. It's just like the way it was. You feel every nuance, you feel the car move, you understand how you gotta react to it, and when you react, this system reacts. I am racing at Leguna Seca. That's it. The only difference is the bar I normally go to at the end of the weekend is miles away. So like Schumacher on his Ferrari sim, iRacing accuracy allows you to really learn the track and the car, practice skills, and improve lap times, because it is 100% exact. Co-founder Dave Kammerer explains more.
The laser scan reproduces down to the millimeter just about every feature on the track surface. So, you know, for example, at Lime Rock Park, there are concrete patches that, if you go out and look at them, are 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 an inch above the asphalt. And you can feel that when you're driving. You'll feel the left rear tire get up on the concrete, and you feel that in the simulation. The sight picture, if you have actually been to a track, it's identical to the real thing. I mean, the brake markers are in exactly the same spot. The trees are in the same spot.
Every bump, pavement seam, camber change, surface grip factor, and vehicle dynamic is embedded into iRacing modeling. The other iRacing advantage is the racing itself, organized and regulated to ensure great competition. 12 leagues arranged by talent, track time every 30 minutes, all monitored to grade drivers on skill and safety. You only race others at your level until you improve and move up the ladder. This is not some user-controlled video game Wild West, where one driver with the skills of a Milkaduno and the agenda of a hit-and-run driver ruins the racing. Justin Wilson says he is more nervous of crashing an iRacing car versus his real ride. So at iRacing, you realistically race. 15,000 drivers have signed on since iRacing.com opened its tracks. NASCAR signed on for a series in 2010. VW uses iRacing to screen and qualify drivers for seats in its Jetta TDI Cup. And the winner of the iRacing Jetta League gets a fully funded 2010 ride in a real TDI. The bottom line, to me, iRacing is real racing. It takes the same skill and deep commitment. But if your idea of driving fun is burnouts and drifting, trying different cars, then game on with video games like GT5, Project Gotham, Need for Speed, etc. If the goal is to train your driving skills, to race, and to really learn the sport, well, I've always thought, why watch Schumacher when you can be Schumacher? Mike, not Ralph, not that I'm either one.
Thanks, Leo. iRacing.com. It's pretty cool. You know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jacques Villeneuve are both subscribers on iRacing.com. I think I'd like to race against them sometime. And I'd absolutely lose terribly, but I think it'd be pretty fun. Right?
I see you drift on a track.
On a go-kart track. Well, that about does it for Fastlane Daily today. I'm Derek D. And if you guys haven't subscribed to us on Facebook, do it. All right, be our friends. Facebook.com/Fastlane Daily. There's really cool videos from behind the scenes that we put up yesterday, so I'm gonna go check that out. Twitter us and YouTube.com/Fastlane Daily. You guys have a lovely Thursday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Rock on.